Okay, guys, I have Jessica. You have a knife over there. I have Jess on our team call tonight, basically to kind of just crush how to balance career life with building your business on the side. And I'm just gonna let you take it away, Jess.
Okay, hi friends. Hello. First, what's our time frame on the call?
30 to 35-ish minutes.
Okay, so I am going to make sure I didn't waste anyone's time. And I will set myself an alarm. Okay, perfect. So, hi, I'm Jess. I literally run off of alarms, and you will learn that about me. I will give you a little background on my Beachbody world life, and then I'll give you an update on my life, because they're both running at the same time, like all of us, but I find it very interesting how I've made it work for me around my career life stuff. So first, before I tell you about Beachbody and all of those things and what I've done, I think it's very important to tell you it's okay if you love your career, because I absolutely love my career. And I feel like when you hear about people starting side gigs and all that stuff, they're like, oh, and you can do this full time, yada, yada. And I think it's okay to tell everyone, and I will be the first one to say, I'm not leaving my career. Like, I absolutely love my career, and it's part of my life way, way more than anything else. And so if you can relate to that, or if you're like a special snowflake like myself, because I know a lot of other people are like, right? Like, that's okay. So back time on Beachbody. So first, I'm going to talk to you about, like, I started in 2015. I was a success starter, started out of the gate. Someone gave me this magic number, so I'll give it to you too, that said it was 300 invitations, right? 300 invites of, hey, do you want to join our boot camp, that converted into Success Club 6. So with that number, I knew that I could find time in my life to hit send 300 times. All right, so I'm a numbers girl, like I said, that's why I'm sharing that with you. Okay, I could send 300 times, and I would know that it would pay for my Shakeology and my challenge pack, and I'd be golden, and I'd start my small snowball that would evolve into some real-time money. Cool, down with that. So then from there, I hit Success Starters, which also got me that free trip at the time it went to Nashville. And so I also saw that as a perk, which was kind of cool. So I went to my first summit in 2016. I came back from Summit, felt really cool. Me and the boyfriend were doing all the things. And then I bought a house in November 2016 by myself. Depression hit. 2017, I was a party girl. I didn't coach at all in 2017. And then it was November 2018 where I just kind of felt, or November 2017, where I just kind of felt lost and was like, I feel like a flop and felt ugly and all those things. So I felt like I was restarting my business all over again. So if you're someone that's been with the company for a real long time and you feel like you've never hit your go button or you never hit your start button because your career and all these things are in your way, I'm here to tell you BS on that too, because it's all up to you. So basically, then after that, right, we're going to continue going on. March 2019, I went on my first Success Club trip, which was really fun. And I got to bring my mom as my plus one, which was really exhilarating for me, because when you're trying to explain it to your family about what you're doing, it's really nice when you get to involve them in something that's a perk, so that they can explain and see that what you're doing isn't just for side money or to take over the world and be the most popular person on Instagram. It's legit, like, things that you can do. So I got to take my mom on the cruise. It was probably the cutest thing ever, because she was so happy she got to use her passport for the first time. And we went to Haiti and went to the Bahamas, and she got to meet the people like you guys that I'm talking with all the time. So she got to see and feel it in a real event. So that was really cool. But the reason why I give you guys that little blip is because I want you to know that your why you do this changes, right? Like, why you like Beachbody changes. So maybe you started because you wanted to make your Shakeology up per month. Cool. Awesome. Me, that's all I wanted. I wanted to do that, and I wanted to go on free trips. Awesome. Then all of a sudden, in November of last year, my roommate moved out, and I had to change my priorities. I'm like, why do I need Beachbody? Because my roommate that was paying $900 a month was moving out, and I would not have enough money to pay my bills. So I wanted to live by myself, and I wanted to have that chapter of life. So your why changes, and that's something that with your career, that's okay for it to continue and roll on for.
Can I also butt in and add that Jessica lives in California? So like paying $900 as half of her rent in California is like,
oh no, it's not even half, girlfriend.
Okay, that's not even my house payment here in Michigan.
So full transparency, my mortgage is $2,500 and my HOA is $300. So before I even paying to turn on my lights, I spend over $2,800 a month on my housing expenses.
Not moving to California anytime soon.
So I understand when people, and that's also something to keep relatable, is like when you live in a high priced environment like myself, when I hear people saying that they do stuff online and they make full-time income, blah, 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 I go, I don't think you understand what full-time income means to me. And that's okay. No one else needs to understand what that means to me, because my expectation is mine and my type of living and my lifestyle living is mine. So that kind of reels me into my career life. And honestly, I called myself a badass in the write-up. You know, you sound really good on a piece of paper reel. And I'm totally okay with that, because I was not the badass chick that everyone wanted to be friends with in high school. I was definitely the chick that got the leftovers for freaking homecoming parades and all that shit. Like when you have the guy that would want to take you to the dance or whatever, it was always my best friend's date, because the guy was like the last one. That's what I mean by leftovers. Like I was not interested in him at all, which is totally fine, because I'm having a better life than they are now anyways. Didn't peak in high school. Cool. Tangent. Anyways, back to the stuff that I'm really excited to share with you guys that really gets my life boiling is my career. Highlight reel of life, right? I got my degree in HR in California by 21. It's in HR and organizational behavior. At 23, I had my master's in business administration with zero college debt. I sucked up my ego and I lived on my parents' couch. They actually gave me a room, but yes, I did. I lived with my parents and I paid them rent. And then at 25, I bought my house. So that's some accolades that I'm really excited about, because my career life and my dedication to my career happened during all of those moments. I started coaching when I was in grad school. I was coaching while I was in grad school, which meant that I was commuting one way an hour to then come back an hour and 15 minutes to then go to grad school at night to then come home. I started doing Beachbody because one of my girlfriends talked to me about Insanity Max 30 and we bought it on Amazon. So I didn't find it out through a coach, okay? We literally, all three of us, did Turbo Jam back in high school, which is like Shailene Johnson's first ever punching disco thing. And we were all like, oh yeah, let's totally do it. And so that's how I got into Beachbody. I was not cold messaged on Instagram. I wasn't someone's best friend. Like, no, it's just how life went for me. Because my life is very, very structured, I needed Beachbody to be able to take whatever time I wanted to work out and put it in my life. Like that's just how it goes. And so I think that what's really cool to say though is while all of those things are going on in my life, I was able to use Beachbody to supplement and give me my like to haves. What I mean by that is when I bought my house, it was original 1989, not cute, popcorn ceilings, no lights in the ceilings, all those things, but I wanted to remodel my house. And I can 100% say to you right now that while I was sharing this and sharing that journey on Instagram, that I effing work in a career job and I was Beachbody hustling on the side, that Beachbody paid 100% for my sink. And my sink is gorgeous. I have the most beautiful porcelain giant ass sink that people talk about on Pinterest in my house. Okay. Now, I call that success. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is that taking your career life and taking what Beachbody does for you and meshing them together in whatever you want to call success. That's something that Ashley knows about me, is like Ashley's level of success doesn't match what I call successful because I'm not going for the same goals as Ashley. And that's totally effing okay. That doesn't mean that Ashley and I aren't best friends. Like, it just means we have different shit going on, which is totally fine. And some people get real weird about that, and that's okay. So the topic that we're talking about today, if I still have your attention, you're like, who is this chick? Is how do you do it all, right? And so agenda, because now we've got 20 minutes left. Yes. Siri, don't tell me hold on. Okay, 20 minutes left. We've got a couple topics today. We're talking about your foundation, your schedule, your definition of success, your why, for why you want to be successful, and then we're going to talk about your plan, and then from then we're going to revisit your schedule. Cool? So, as I'm running, before we jump into that, step one, no one has time. Okay, no one has time. Because guess what? If we all had time, we'd be fucking boring and homeless. Okay, no one has time. Because also, people that have time aren't my friends. If you have time, you're boring, you have nothing to put on your schedule, and you're just sitting there watching Netflix, and you're a potato. You have nothing going on in your life. You're not going for a hike. You're not walking your dog. You're not meeting a friend. You're boring. So guess what? We're all on the same page, and we're all busy as fuck. Okay? Sorry, this is getting recorded, and that's how I talk. But that's how we just have to embrace it, is everyone's busy. And we don't have boring friends, and that's okay, because we want to live our life. So knowing that, right, is that we have to also go into your foundation. What I mean by that, and I'm sure everyone has their phones if they're not on their phone right now, is that I'm going to HR you for a second. So there's a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I don't know if you've heard of this before, but if you haven't, I will tell you to Google it. And it sets up a foundation, and it's a pyramid. And I'm going to tell you that in your life, or in your career, or however you want to apply this pyramid, you will not be successful and get to the top if the bottom isn't set. Okay? And I want to tell you that because if you look at that image, that's going to help you decide why you're coaching. Because if you look at the pyramid and on the bottom, they start talking about things like safety, like your home, like you want to be able to pay your bills, you get hot water when you want it, and you get anxiety when I talk to you about your water bill, that's why you coach. Because your water bill. You see what I'm saying? I talk to people about this at work all the time. I go, okay, so why are you here? And they tell me it's either because of the benefits, it's because of flexibility, it's because of the perks in the tap room. By the way, I work in beer, so it's alcohol, right? Like there's all sorts of different things that bring people into it, but you have to understand where you're at so that you can move up your pyramid. Now, if we also look at it, you can't move on. If you can't pay your water bill, there's no way you're going to be some successful coach and bragging about all the shit. There's no way that you're going to go into your 9 to 5 and feel like you're effing killing it. We're all in the same level playing field. The pyramid applies to everyone. This pyramid is psychology and it's been here forever. It's not something I'm making up, but it's there. So then we're going to talk about your schedule. Your schedule's fixed. You know shit hits the fan, and you know that you have as much time in the world as everybody else. And that's something that I had to really instill in myself, is no one has 25 hours. Everyone has 24. That's it. Like, when people say that they have less time than so-and-so because I have less time, this is my favorite. I have less time than you, Jessica, because I have kids. Guess what my answer is? Your fucking kids aren't more important than my dog. Your fucking kids are not more important than me taking out the trash. It's the same thing. Something takes your time. That's not to be mean about people having kids. It's the fact that comparing that someone has kids to someone that doesn't have kids, that's not very nice. That's not fair. Just like saying, I have a bomb-ass job. Sorry, I'm too busy to help with your Beachbody things. That's not true either. I personally put my time into my career because I fucking love it and I kill it. And I'm a boss. Like, I love my job. To put into Ashley what she was talking about before, because I didn't dig in too much into my career, is that my job and my sole purpose is to be the business supporter for a freaking awesome ass brewery. A brewery that's brewing in 35 countries right now, and I get to decide how we're doing scaling. I get to decide job descriptions. I get to decide spot bonuses. I fly to Chicago when people F up because I'm the person that comes in to make sure that we're doing things the right way. And I get to do the investigations. If you have a sexual harassment claim, I'm the chick that you call. I love saying that because that makes me feel worthy. Now, if you don't have that going on in your career, that's totally fine. And you're looking at Beachbody as a way to have a full-time income, you go. But I'm looking at you saying that based off of my schedule and based off of my foundation, my why for Beachbody comes down to how I want to define success. Why I do it feeds into what I call successful. So if I still have you, right? Like, I make good money. I pay the bills. I can do some of the things. But what brings me into Beachbody and what makes me keep going with it isn't the money, isn't like the fitness part, right? Like what is it? For me, it's the team. For me, it's be able to talking to people like you guys that I never effing would have met ever if it wasn't for this opportunity. I'm in California. Ashley's in frickin' Michigan. Never been to that state. Monica's in New York City, which I've been to Manhattan once. Like, do you guys think if you dropped me in the middle of Michigan, I'd find Ashley in one day? I've been to Manhattan for 3 days. You think you dropped me there that I'd find Monica? No. And that's what I love about this opportunity, right? Is that it gets me to interact with these things. Then, on top of it, my money with my career job only pays my bills. I told you guys very transparently how much it costs for me just to live, not to eat, not to turn on lights, just to live, okay? So if I just wanted to live, that would be kind of boring. My boyfriend's about to walk in. But if I was just going to live like that, that'd be really boring. And that's why I like the Beachbody thing. So what ends up happening is you guys are going to actually get out a piece of paper. I'm serious. Get out a piece of paper because we're going to do it right now. Or you're going to do it on your phone. Okay. And this is what you're going to do. I heard Tyler. He's trying to creep in the background. Maybe he opened the door and then closed it. He's like, oh, Jessica's on one. And you're going to go like this. What time do you wake up? For me, I realistically, not the alarm. What time do you get out of bed? Like you wake up. I realistically get out of bed at 6:30 in the morning. Now, you're going to write your first task. For me, I go downstairs and I have Energize. Maybe for you, you start prepping your kids' food. Maybe you wake up at a different time and your first thing is you walk the dog. You're going to write that out. So for me, I'm saying 6:45 a.m., get dressed, and 7 a.m., Energize. This is how you make it work, right? And then you decide while you have your Energize, you go, okay, I'm going to share things that people have tagged me in on Instagram. I'm going to comment. I'm going to like whatever the thing is that you want to do. Here's the other news flash. If you saw it in Raina's group, is that everyone's got a level playing field in terms of Instagram. So again, where people go, oh my God, I can't have that level of success because she's home with her kids all day and she has time to add people. Cry me a river. Okay, that's not the truth, because guess what? It just came out, and I'm going to read it verbatim, right? I don't know if you guys saw the post from Raina, but Instagram leveled the playing field, so it doesn't really matter how much time you have. So if you haven't seen it, right, there's a new activity cap, and there's only 6,000 actions that can occur in 30 days. And that's a rolling 30 days. This isn't a month. So it doesn't start like on September 1. It's happening right now. What have you done in 30 days? In 30 days, as this thing's moving, you can only have, essentially, if it's 6,000, you can only have 200 actions a day. Maximum. You might be like, oh my God, there's no way I hit 200 a day. I'm still like not playing in the game, right? But the thing is but that means that you follow people. If you follow 50, you like 50 pictures, you comment 50 times, and then you send messages, you're going to hit that number real quick. So it's actually a perk to have a career life. because it takes you off your phone and you don't have to hit the number on accident. So you're going to be fine. So the whole thing about all of this, even if you're like, wait, I want to do this full time, oh my God, is that if you just move a little slower, we got 10 minutes left, everything will be fine. So it's not how much can I get done in a certain amount of time, it's the efficiency and the actual output of what you're doing. Holy crap, I'm hot. Cold. Chardonnay. Okay, so we can continue to go on with the schedule, but I think you guys get it, is when you map out your schedule from when you wake up to when you go to bed, you can find pockets of time to do the things that you need to do. And if you are not already doing stuff like with the team, I know that Jess will tag me in some of her singing videos, Ashley, I'll tag her, Monica, stuff like that. That's the other way that people that work really like hard and don't have time to be on Instagram, but they still want to have stuff in their stories, make up time, because other people make your content. So Jess, thanks so much for saving me. Jackie, you save me every time you tag. And it also gives that FOMO because then other people are totally sharing it. By the way, while I'm on my high horse, I do have to add that you don't need to hide someone's name when you share. Like you don't need to like move their video out of the screen so people can't see their name. The fact is that you have someone sharing it. You should embrace that. And that's how I do it when I have to balance career life and then also the side stuff life, is that you just figure out what it is that you want it to pay for. And then you define success how you want to define it. And then you roll from there. Ashley hears this from me all the time where I'll be like, you know, maybe Success Club isn't my goal right now, but dollars are my goal right now. So I'm actually going to go for volume. Sometimes I change it and I go that route. Sometimes I go, I want more money off of my Success Club trip. So I'm going for Success Club. And that's my goal, right? It just depends on what your goal is. I know specifically last month, I enrolled 3 customers with challenge packs and 1 person as a coach. And the coach girl's been following me for 2 years and she just wanted to coach right away. But I personally, because how I defined success was in my like to haves. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I call it like to haves, where it's like I like to have some extra spending money. So I know if I enroll them as a customer, I'm going to get the challenge pack sales and I'm going to get more money. And then if they sign up as a coach, okay, we can move on things that way. But the thing is you, like I said, have to define success how you find success. And I would partner with either Ashley or your upline, whomever it is, on however you want to define success so that you can balance it in the most efficient way possible while you're balancing all of your other things.
Can you explain a little more about your schedule of how you're fitting in your workout versus and how you're fitting in like work throughout the day when you're working and on the weekends and things like that?
Yeah. So I 100% understand that my schedule Monday through Friday is not going to Beachbody Outreach, meaning I'm not inviting people Monday through Friday on purpose. Sometimes I will, but my pocket of time is on the weekends. So what I'll do is I'll run you guys through like a day in the life. On Monday through Friday, I wake up and get out of bed at 6:30. I will get dressed at 6:45. I will work out by 7:15 or whatever. I will save and I'll do all the recordings and stuff and then I'll have it on my phone. Sometimes I post that I'm done with my workout before I even upload the workout video. That's okay. No one's gonna get mad at me. They still know that I worked out. They can see I'm sweaty as all hell and that's fine. That's the purpose. So I do that and I commit to the fact of like in the morning, I'm gonna do the things for me. I'm going to do the workout. I'm going to drink my Energize. I'm going to share it. I'm going to sing some freaking song because it makes me want to work out because I don't want to, by the way. I would much rather be snuggling my dog or I take her out for a walk or whatever, but I have to. So I do. It's kind of like when I don't like to fire people, but I have to, so I do. It's the same thing, right? Like it's a requirement of the job. You do it. So I lay that out. Honestly, Ash, I will pretend that I'm taking a giant dump at work and I will post on Instagram stories. I will lock myself in the damn bathroom. I will take Abby, because that's my dog. I will take her to work and I will take her on a walk. And that's when I'm cutting my videos a little shorter because I video the whole thing. I will do stuff like that. I will do stuff where if I get to work early and I know that I could walk through the door early, but I don't have to, and no one's really monitoring my schedule, I will sit in my car and I will like and comment and post, and I will follow people in my car until I have to be in the door. So if traffic's on my side, the business is on my side. So I have to think of things that way while everything's going on. And then I know, like, with pockets of time, like my boyfriend is very busy with his job too. And so I just know that Monday through Friday, we're going to be freaking stressed. It's going to be crazy. I literally have to work after this call. Like, I have to career work after this. And that's okay with me because I know that I'm going to do stuff on the weekends. And that's okay, you know, and it's just, you have to decide what you define as successful and decide what pockets of time you want to work in. And I literally consider anything, like even this is extra credit for me. Like, I am actually working on it during the week, and that's totally fine. But again, remember how I said that whole like 300 invites means that you hit that goal. If that's your goal, you have to decide what day you want to hammer that out. And if it's not in one day and you decide you want to do 10 every single day, then that's your decision. But for me, I know I can't do that. So I know that I have to pick, okay, so it's Sunday, I can send 50 today. And I will sit there with my coffee and bump. And then here's the other thing though, is if it's taking away from family time or friend time or anything like that, when the paycheck comes, I screenshot it and I send it. So like with me and my boyfriend, like if I'll be like, oh, we didn't go for a hike or we didn't, you know, whatever. By the way, here's this week's paycheck, screenshot, and I'll send it to him in a text message. It shows my name, it shows the week paid out, and it shows how much money. Because I'm showing that in taking away from our time that could be perceived as just playing on the phone, I actually have money coming in.
I love that, because a lot of people are like, well, I feel bad about being on my phone because it's taking away time from my family or this or that. And I mean, honestly, if you're taking an extra hour or two away from your family to bring in an extra $100 or $2, isn't that worth it? Like, I mean, not all the time. Not saying like sacrifice your entire family time for money, but like right now we have our niece coming to live with us, and we need to buy bunk beds, and we need to buy a dresser, and we need to buy bedding and all this stuff. So the fact that my paychecks are going to be able to completely support that, yeah, sitting in here on this team call, and then after this team call, I'm going to be working for the rest of the night. I mean, the kids are in bed anyways right now. Levi's watching TV. He'll survive because he knows that the money from his check isn't going to be what's going to pay for the bunk beds and everything else. It's my extra money, and he appreciates that now. In the beginning, when I was working and not bringing in any money, he was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Well, and I think that's a good question, because it's like, if you're not making money, because I think it's very easy to make money with this business if you just follow the tools. If you're not making money, then what are you doing? Literally. Because if I'm working, I'm like, if I'm working 50, 60 hours, I did not miss a freaking workout when I had to take a red eye to Chicago and work out in my hotel gym. Like, my question is, why are you doing it? Because if you're just doing it to tell people that you're making money on Instagram and scrolling, you're using the hour that I'm using to fake pooping in the bathroom to make money to just scroll. And that's where it's like, you have to decide what you decide is successful. Because when you decide something's successful, you tell people around you, this is how I'm going to measure success. Maybe you don't want to be the top 101 coach. Let me tell you, I don't. I have zero desire to leave my job. I would be bored shitless if I was home on my computer all day. I thrive in being able to make decisions that impact other people's lives strategically. I love the fact that I can get thrown very quickly on a whim and that someone needs me, the importance. I love that stuff. Will I love it when I'm older? Maybe not. I don't know. But guess what? That's why your why changes. So maybe someday My why for coaching is because I want to be at home mom, because I'm over it and California law is fucking cray. I don't know. But that's like, you have to give yourself that ability to change your mind and to change why you're doing it. And then you match your schedule to match what your level of success is with why you're doing it. And you embrace the fucking chapter of life that you're in. Oh my God. I cannot stand when people don't realize that it's not realistic. You know, like either, so for me, if I looked at you guys and I was, I want to be the number one coach, that's not realistic because my cup gets full from my career.
Yeah.
It's been 30 minutes.
Yes. This is going to cut off in like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, because I'm not paying to upgrade it because that's not an important expense in my life right now. But I appreciate it. I love you. I love everything you shared. One thing I really hope that you guys took away from this is your why does change. When I started coaching, my why was literally to be able to put gas in my car so I could leave my driveway. Levi's income increased significantly since I started, and I was able to leave my job since then, so I had to refocus my why several different times. So that's why we use that business activity tracker, and at the top of that business activity tracker, it says, why are you doing this? Every week, write down why you're doing this when you're filling that out. But, okay, I will let you go. I will let you all go. I love you all. Have an amazing night. Danielle, I will chat with you after this. Bye.
Bye.